Welcome to the deep dive. Today, we're tackling a giant of American literature, Harper Lee's To Kill a Mockingbird.
Ah, yes, a true classic.
Definitely. Published back in 1960, it's this mix of, well, classic fiction, historical insight, and a coming-of-age story.
Mm,
And our mission today really is to dig into why this book still feels so vital,
yeah,
why it hits so hard even now.
it really does. And you're immediately dropped into the Deep South, the 1930s. You can almost feel the humidity.
Right.
And it's crucial, I think, that the whole thing is seen through Scout Finch's eyes. She's young, but,
Yeah.
well, she sees a lot.
Her and her brother Jem, and of course their father Atticus.
Exactly. Guiding us through it all.
So the story really hinges on Atticus defending Tom Robinson, doesn't it? A black man falsely accused.
Yeah.
How central is that trial?
Oh, it's absolutely pivotal. But what's brilliant is how Lee approaches it.
That's
Also,
us.
she doesn't just tell you about injustice. You experience it alongside Scout. You see this collision of childhood innocence with some really harsh adult realities.
Right. You see it dawning on the children.
Precisely. It makes the themes of empathy and justice.
Ah.
It makes them land much harder emotionally than if she just spelled it out. It's not preachy.
Yeah, that makes sense. It draws you in rather than lecturing you.
Mm.
And beyond the plot, Harper Lee's actual writing, it seems so simple on the surface.
Deceptively simple. That's the phrase people often use.
Right.
And it is. The prose is direct, straightforward. But through that child's voice, she tackles these massive issues. Racism, inequality, what courage really looks like.
So the simplicity is actually a technique.
Absolutely. It's a deliberate choice. It makes these profound ideas accessible. It speaks right to the reader, doesn't get bogged down in overly academic language.
And speaking of speaking to the reader, Atticus Finch, wow, what a character.
Isn't he just? He's often called the moral compass of the novel.
Yeah, easily one of the most inspiring characters in literature, I'd say. What gives him that power?
I think it's his quiet strength. His integrity isn't about big speeches necessarily. It's in his dignity when facing down prejudice, his commitment to the truth, even when it's unpopular.
And his empathy.
His empathy, exactly. For everyone. It's a quiet, principled kind of courage, standing up for what's right, even if you're standing alone.
We saw a review calling Mockingbird one of the most important novels of the 20th century. That's a huge claim.
It is, but I think it's accurate.
Why do you think it earns that title? What makes it endure?
Well, partly it's that blend we talked about, the coming-of-age story woven into this deep social commentary, but fundamentally the themes, they just don't get old.
Understanding fairness, bravery.
Exactly. Prejudice, empathy, the fight for justice. These are things we're still grappling with today, aren't we?
Absolutely. So the 1930s setting doesn't make it feel dated.
Not at all. It provides a specific context, sure, but the underlying human issues are, sadly, timeless. It gives us a lens to look at our own world.
So for you listening, what's the takeaway here? I mean, it's a powerful reminder, isn't it, of what literature can do?
It really is. It kind of makes you think. How can a story from, over 60 years ago, how can it still shape how we think about right and wrong, about humanity? It prompts you to look at your own understanding of justice, maybe, your own empathy. Where are the mockingbirds in our world today,
That's a really potent thought to leave people with. It definitely makes you reflect.
Yep.
So, bottom line, if you're interested in these big, enduring questions about morality and society, To Kill a Mockingbird